Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here. Tonight we have a special live stream. We're going to be talking about a missing persons case from here in Arkansas. So I'm from Arkansas for anybody who may be watching now or watching replay. So any Arkansas case is, of course, close to my heart. And actually, we're going to be talking about Jamie Valdez. He's been missing since 2021 from Booneville, Arkansas. And actually, I had featured him Monday. He was one of our featured missing persons, or last Monday, I think it was, and one of our featured missing persons. And some of my wonderful community members and subscribers had gotten in touch with one of Jamie's sisters, Miss Shawn. And so I've been talking to her, and I wanted to cover this case, obviously. And so I've been messaging her, talking to her. She's been giving me some information. So I'm just thankful and honored that she would trust me to share Jamie's case. Welcome to any other family members or locals to the community who may be here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to do the best I can to do his case justice and give you all the information to the best of my knowledge. So just everybody, we have a wonderful community here. It's a safe place, but just always, like I said, keep in mind, we get our family members here, locals. So just be respectful to everybody, be kind. Like I said, we don't have any trouble, have never had any trouble thus far here. This is a fantastic community. So before we get started, let's see who we have here. Miss Lisa Joe is here. Welcome, Miss Lisa Joe. Thank you so much for being here. Miss Dandy Linus is here, a wonderful friend and mod. And thank you. I always forget to thank mods, everybody with wrenches here who helps at very short notice, sometimes maybe a day notice or an overnight notice that I'm going to be doing a live stream. And everybody shows up to help, so I appreciate it very much. Miss Tabitha is here. She says big hugs to Shawn and family. Absolutely. Absolutely. Miss Paula is here. Thank you for being here, Miss Paula. Vid is here. Thank you, Vid. And I think Vid may have been one of the ones who helped me get in touch with Miss Shawn. I know there are a couple of people who got me in touch with Miss Shawn on Facebook. So I appreciate whoever it was. I've had a busy, which is good, busy day at work, or busy week at work so far, last 2 days. So forgive me if my mind is, if I'm even goofier than I usually am. I'm going to try not to be. Miss Gail Hurt is here. Thank you much, Gail. She says she's popping in and out. There's so much going on. Good cow. Thank you for dropping in, Miss Gail. Always good to have Miss Gail here. Yes. Miss Lisa Joe had messaged me about this earlier. She says she listened to Jamie's episode from the Vanished podcast again today to brush up. Yes, I loved the Vanished podcast. It's probably one of my favorite podcasts out there right now. I have listened to a lot of their episodes. But I did not know that they had done one on Jamie's case until Miss Lisa Joe brought it to my attention this afternoon. So tonight, probably after I get done, we get done with the live stream here, I will give it a listen, most definitely. And I will put a link to it if I can find it. I don't know if The Vanish has a YouTube channel that I can link their podcast from the YouTube channel. But somehow, some way, I will put a link on YouTube and on my Facebook group and on my Southern Gal True Crime profile. I will put a link to that podcast. For anybody who would like to listen. Mr. Arctic Fox True Crime is here, another wonderful creator and friend and a wonderful human being. Thank you so much for being here, Arctic. There is Miss Shawn. This is Miss Shawn. She says, thanks so much. You're absolutely, God bless you. You're absolutely welcome. This is one of Jamie's sisters. I got a lot of information from her to share with you tonight, along with just the basic information from the Charley Project. And I put together a video of a couple of video clips from I think last year, year before last, just to have some interviews with Miss Shawn, and then we'll go through the information that she provided that she wanted shared. So absolutely a pleasure and an honor to have Miss Shawn here, and any other family members, like I said, or locals that are here or watching replay. God bless all of you. Thank you so much. Right, get down through here, make sure I'm not missing anybody. Absolutely. Miss Shawn says, hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful. Absolutely. Absolutely, Miss Shawn. Yes, I figured Arctic probably had covered Jamie's case. Arctic says, I'm glad you're covering Jamie. I've also covered him, and I know the family appreciates all the coverage. Absolutely. Like I said, I will do absolutely anything for, no matter where in the world or the country you're at. If somebody reaches out to me, especially family members, and ask me if I will cover a case, absolutely. But when it's an Arkansas case, absolutely. And Arctic is another is a fellow Arkansan, so absolutely, we do everything we can to bring as much attention and awareness to any of these Arkansas cases that need attention. All right. Yes. Also, Miss Gail says prayers for Florida. Milton has made landfall. Yeah, I've got the TV on mute, but I've got it on the Weather Channel. I'm kind of keeping my eye on it to see. So just, yes, thoughts, prayers, good vibes to anybody and everybody in Florida. I know we have a lot of creator friends and probably members of the community in Florida. I know Mr. Steve from True Crime Web is there. He's not there now. But Mrs. Steve and the rest of the Steve family is there. Sunshine from Minded Monsters is somewhere in Florida. Ruckus is in Florida. And so just thoughts, prayers, good vibes going out to everybody that is affected. They say it's a bad one. It looks bad. I know that today they had a tornadoes too. And usually, and they were showing pictures of them, and they were like big bad, what I call big bad tornadoes. Because usually the kind of tornadoes you get with just like a hurricane or tropical storm, like land spouts, water spouts, they're not as bad. Of course, any tornado is bad, but they've been pretty bad today. So, yeah, that's what Arctic was saying. They've had over 100 tornado warnings today, and over 500,000 without power. Oh goodness! Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers. Okay, you talking about the Vanished? Miss Lisa says I don't think she really uses YouTube. Okay, I will. I think I can probably put the link. I know I can put it on Facebook. I can probably put it on my community tab too. Because I listen to, and I'm sure it's the Vanished podcast is available over a lot of the platforms. I use Spotify personally, but so I will try to find the link for any of you who want to watch it or listen to it. Absolutely. Vid says sending prayers to Florida. Absolutely. Yep. Dandy says she can't watch it. I understand. I understand. Very stressful. Very stressful. Sorry, my comments jumped on me here. Artie says he has me on the phone and max velocity on the TV. Welcome, Olivia. Good to have you here. She says, hi, everyone. Dropping by to show support. Thank you so much. I'll be watching the weather as my husband has relatives in Sarasota. Yeah, isn't that where it's supposed to come in right on Sarasota or closest to Sarasota? Thoughts and prayers. Can't say it enough. Welcome, Chris McKinney. He says, or he or she, I'm sorry. Chris can be either or name. But anyway, he says, I live in Arkansas. I'm interested in this case. Welcome, and it's good to have you here. Absolutely. I just want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Yes, they did have My comments just jumped up again. Okay. Oh, Gail said a tornado just hit around Fort Lauderdale. Yeah, Arctic says PDS. But yeah, we know what PDS means, especially here in Arkansas. Particularly dangerous situation. Welcome, Lori Jones. She says, thanks for what you're doing to help bring Jamie home. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're more than welcome, ma'am. Like I said, I'm going to do my best to get the information across the best of my knowledge and to do his case justice and bring as much awareness as to Jamie's case, because all that information that Miss Shawn sent me just tore me up. So be sure, everybody coming in, be sure to hit the like button. If you're watching the replay, hit the like button, leave a comment. If you're watching replay, put in your questions, comments in chat. If you're here live, share it is the most important thing you can do, is share it anywhere and everywhere you can. You can share the link out right now to see if, get some more people in here live. After it's over, share the link out to all your social media platforms. So like I said, the more we like, share, and comment, the more it gets pushed out and the more people see it. That is the whole goal, is for as many people to see this as possible. All right, just getting down. Thank you. Arctic is putting in links for creators. Oh, there we go. Arctic's got it. The Vanish podcast on Jamie for Spotify. There is the link. Thank you, Arctic. You're an angel. You're an angel. Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely. I will be listening to it tonight, because I'll probably be up most of the night having it I'll have it on the Weather Channel, watching it, and I'll listen to the podcast tonight. Absolutely. All right. I think I'm caught up in comments. All right. So like I said, Jamie Valdez, okay, I've already got the making sure that I have all my ducks in a row here. If you're new here, sometimes at any moment, this could turn into a dumpster fire. I'm going to try not to have it turn into a dumpster fire tonight, because this is so important for things to go smoothly, to get this information about Jamie out. But just quickly, basic information from the Charley Project. Jamie has been missing since June 12th, 2021, from Ozark, Booneville. There was some, when we get into the information, there's some sightings or possible sightings of him around the Ozark. He said he was going to Ozark, Booneville area. So he was 47 years old when he went missing, a white male, 5'9" to 5'10", 200 to 220 pounds. He was last seen wearing black checkered shorts. And if this is a Charley Project information, but I know Mr. Shawn is here. If anybody else hears anything from this that's not right, please do stick it in chat and I will correct it. But I just want to get this basic information first for anybody who may not have heard of this case. So Jamie does suffer from diabetes. He is not insulin dependent. He does need oral medication, which he does not have with him when he went missing. According to his wife, his blood sugar had been very high in the weeks prior to his disappearance. She'd been trying to get him to see a doctor about it. She says that he would become agitated when his blood sugar was off, and I know what she means when she says that, because I have a brother that has a type 1 juvenile diabetes. He was diagnosed when he was probably preteen, and you can tell if the blood sugar is either too high or too low, because you can tell a very distinct difference in how they act, their personality, So I understand what she means by agitated. Jamie is also a recovering addict. He had gone through a rehab program, and he had been clean and sober for about a little over a year prior to his disappearance. He has brown hair and brown eyes. He had a goatee at the time of his disappearance. He has a mole on his left cheek. He has a tattoo of the name Sierra on his left arm. It says his nickname is Jamie. His actual name is James, but everybody, referred to him as Jamie, or refers to him as Jamie. So at the time of his disappearance, Jamie and his wife, Anna, they've been married for about a month. They were living with her mother in Booneville, Arkansas. They had moved in to take care of her because she had fallen and broken her back. And Anna's brother also lived in the house. On June 10th, Jamie and Anna apparently got into an argument because she decided to take an extra shift at work on her day off. And Jamie kind of wanted her maybe to stay home so they could spend some time together, go out and do something, things of that nature. So after Anna went to work, Jamie went to her place of employment to talk to her. She apparently told him that she was busy. She didn't have, she was working. She didn't have time to talk at that particular moment. So he ended up leaving. Anna stated that Jamie went back to the house, packed some clothes, and took around $600 in cash, and he left again in a 2010 Chevy Equinox, which was registered to Anna. He never returned. The last sighting of him was on June 12th when he had dinner with friends, and he told them that he intended to return to Booneville, but he never made it. On June 19th, Jamie's vehicle was found abandoned, actually by Anna's boss's husband in Sugar Grove, Arkansas, which is about 10 miles southeast of Booneville. Apparently, he came across it by accident while visiting a family cemetery in the vicinity, and he recognized it because he and Jamie were friends. So the car was off Dry Creek Road near a spot known as the Swimming Hole or the Bluff. Anna did go to the site, and she took some photos of the car inside and out, and she reported Jamie missing the next day. The car's driver's seat appeared to have been cut or torn and had been pushed further forward than Jamie usually kept it when he drove, indicating that possibly somebody shorter than him possibly had been driving it. The keys and Jamie's cell phone were missing from the car. Some personal items, including clothing, may have been missing also. When Anna's boss found the car, there was written in dirt on the back of the windshield. Somebody had written, "He is near. Help me." And now we'll have some more information on that later on. But by the time the police got to the car later, apparently it had rained, and the writing, or most of the writing, had got washed off the back of the windshield. But Anna did have had taken the photo of it. So 4 local people subsequently said they had come across the vehicle on June 17th, 2 days before it was found by Anna's boss. 2 of them admitted that they had written the message as a prank. So basically it was some kids, teenagers, young adults that came by and saw it sitting there, and just, you know how kids are, teenagers. So they are the ones who admitted to writing, "He is near, help me," on the back of the window. But they did say when they first saw the car that it was running and someone was sitting in it. But when they came back to it a few hours later, the person who had been sitting in it was gone. The car was no longer running. And it was at that time that they wrote the message on the back of the windshield. So they did do a search of the area. They did find Jamie's insurance card, loose change, and some clothing lying on the ground a distance away from the car where the car was parked. And his family's old home was in this general vicinity, but they say he would have had no reason to visit the area. Jamie's car keys and cell phone have never been located. It says he did not have a carrier plan on his cell phone, only Wi-Fi, so it could not be used to track him. A firearm, which Anna said that she had bought, is also missing. Unfortunately, the vehicle was never processed by police for fingerprints, blood evidence, anything, and it has since been repossessed. Although he would sometimes leave 4 days at a time, it is uncharacteristic of Jamie to leave without warning or to be out of touch with his family, particularly his daughter, for this amount of time. His case remains unsolved, and his family does believe that foul play was involved. So that's the basic information. Like I said, I have here in a little bit have some expanding on some information provided to me by Miss Shawn. But if you have any information on Jamie's case, anything at all, I'm always saying all these missing persons cases, especially the longer they go on, no bit of information is too small or insignificant. So if you do have any information, call the Booneville Police Department at 479-675-3508. Let me get into your comments quickly, and then I got, like I said, about a 5 or 6 minute. I put a couple of video clips together. I think probably for within the last couple of years that I will play for you, but I'm just going to get caught up quickly. I said if you have any questions, comments, kind of maybe put like a question mark or an exclamation mark or something in front of it to kind of get my attention, because I want to get all this information. You know what? I don't want to turn this into like, you know, one of our 3 hour long. Now, it's absolutely fine if it does. If, you know, people have questions, comments about Jamie's case, but want to keep it to a good length where people will watch it. And it seems like, you know, 3 or 4 hour long live streams, people are like, I'm not going to watch it. So I'm shooting for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So like I said, just if you have questions, comments, if you're a local family member, you know, just kind of do something, put something in there to kind of get my attention. I'm going to try to keep up with comments as best as I can. But like I said, with that said, don't be afraid to, you know, to put anything in there. Thank you. Miss Gail says she just hit the like button. Thank you. Thank you. Arctic says, talking to Miss Shawn, this one is personal to me. My family lives in Greenwood. If you guys need boots on the ground, please let me know. Absolutely. Arctic is a rock star. I can tell you that. Anything and everything to be done for missing persons cases, he is the man to do it. Absolutely. He is always ready and willing with whatever is needed. Absolutely. Yep. Mr. Junior Johnson is here. Hello, Junior. And he says he is in Kentucky tonight. I hope you're doing well, Junior, you and yours. Always, Junior's one of my OGs, my original guys. Yes. Ms. Shawn says use the hashtag find Jamie Valdez. Absolutely. I will have to do my banner. I got my banner running down there. I will do that when, yes, please everybody use the hashtag on all your social media. If you post or share anything about Jamie, use the hashtag find Jamie Valdez. And I will put that in my creeper down on the bottom here when I while the video is playing here in a minute. Arctic says that Sugar Creek can be described as sketchy at best. Miss Lisa Jo says, is that viewed as suspicious that this particular person found it? Are you talking about the vehicle found it, or is it reasonable? I don't know. I honestly can't say. It was Anna, what I say is Anna's boss's husband that found it. So, but I'm sure, like I said, if y'all have questions, I'm sure Miss Shawn will get around to answering them before I will or have the answer. So, of course, Miss Shawn says that person actually knew Jamie and they had been friends since they were teenagers. Excellent. Okay, Miss Shawn says, if you're talking about the teen or whoever it was that rode on the back of the car, and I apologize, it's hot in here tonight. I'm sweating as usual. And Ms. Sean says, when I talked to them personally, they said they hadn't said that the car was running. It was cold to the touch when they touched the hood. Excellent information. That's why I always like, if possible, to have family members or somebody, family members, locals, who have intimate knowledge and information about cases, to be here. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to do a live stream is to make sure that we get all this information correct. So thank you, Ms. Sean. Yes, absolutely. Artist says thanks for the additional information. Yes, and I'm going to have a lot of more additional information here after I'm gonna get caught up in comments, play the video clip, and then get my little tablet out and get to this information that Miss Sean was so gracious to provide me. Junior Johnson says he's singing. He's been everywhere, man. He's singing some Johnny Cash. He's been everywhere. Arctic wants to know, has anyone put up a reward? I think, and I forgot to look, I think there is, I don't know about a reward, but I'm thinking there is a GoFundMe. Miss Sean can clarify that for me. And if there is a GoFundMe, we can, if somebody with a wrench can absolutely go out and find the link and put it in the chat. Absolutely. All right, Miss Sean says it is a $6,000 reward right now. Absolutely. Yes. Arctic says also please reach out to Lamar Media, as they will often donate a billboard for family members of a missing person. Ms. Lucy Joe says she's aiming for a 7.5-hour live stream. Not tonight, sister. Next time we have one of our fun decompression live streams, maybe, because Monday night we went almost 4.5 hours with our missing person Monday. Vid wants to know, did Jamie's wife's family or co-workers know that they had been quarreling? I believe, if I remember the information Miss Sean gave me, which once again, Miss Sean will jump in with any, if I get anything wrong, or, I believe they did maybe have an argument in front of Anna's family. And I don't know if this was the argument about her taking the shift at work and him wanting her to stay home, and that one, or if it was a different one. Yes, Arctic is a wealth of information and resources. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right, just getting caught up. Junior says he's heading back to Michigan tomorrow. Safe travels to you, Junior. You're a man of many talents. Artist says he has two talents: being loud and obnoxious, and lighting a fire under law enforcement's arses when they aren't doing their job. That is a good quality to have. Yeah, Miss Sean said that is an amazing talent. Absolutely. Absolutely. Arctic is definitely a squeaky wheel in a good way. All right, Miss Sean says the GoFundMe is specifically for the reward. Money goes straight into an account for that. Excellent. Excellent. Sorry, sorry if I keep moving around, but I lifted a lot of heavy groceries today. It seems like all the orders to shop and deliver groceries come in at the last minute when I'm already tired. Oh, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Thank you. There is the thank you, Arctic. Arctic's an angel. there's a link to the GoFundMe. Thank you, Arctic, and I will put this link on my community tab after this is over, and on my Facebook group. Absolutely. Okay, Miss Sean, going back to the Vid had asked about if anybody knew they were quarreling. Ms. Sean says the family definitely knew. The coworkers knew shortly afterwards. I'm not sure who all might have heard their discussion at her job. All right. Yeah, that's an excellent thought. Vid says not accusing anybody. Absolutely, we're not accusing. We're not here to accuse anybody of anything. We're just here to give information. But if the information leads in a certain direction, but Vid says not accusing anybody, but just thinking if there was somebody in Anna's family that maybe didn't like Jamie or whatnot, etc. Absolutely understand what you're saying. All right, I think I'm caught up in comments, so I'm going to play the video clip. It's a couple of clips I put together. It's about 5 or 6 minutes long, and I will try to put the hashtag, redo the banner or my crawler down here to put that hashtag in, so we won't forget to use it when sharing Jamie's information. I'm going to stop and mute my camera while the video is playing, but hopefully I will be back.
Well, a car found abandoned in rural Logan County with the mysterious message written on the window. Booneville police say the car is one of the only clues they found in the search for a man missing for almost 2 years. In this morning's Missing in Arkansas, why Jamie Valdez's disappearance has left his family with more questions than answers.
That's that swimming hole area.
Sugar Grove, Arkansas is home to several trails and swimming holes. It's also where Booneville police are searching for Jamie Valdez.
You can see all these lines where the dogs all tracked, searching in that area, trying to locate him.
Police Chief Benjamin Villarreal says Jamie's wife reported him missing June 20th, 2021. One day after Jamie's blue Chevy Equinox was found near a bluff hole off Dry Creek Road.
The back seats were laid down like someone had been laying in the vehicle. And then the next odd thing was the motor engine compartment. Someone had dismantled the computer system and had unhooked the battery in the engine area.
The car locked and disabled with a message written on the back. He is near, help me.
I saw the writing on the back window and I was like, ew, well, that's strange.
Jamie's family in disbelief. His sister, Shawn Claiborne, says she talked to him often, but suddenly communication stopped.
He's very close to us. We have a very strong family bond.
Shawn says Jamie's wife told her they got into an argument and Jamie said he was heading to Ozark.
She said when she got off work that she drove around Ozark looking for him, couldn't find him.
But it would be another week and a half before Jamie was reported missing.
It was a little delay on the investigation, that time frame. At the time, she thought, he just kind of took off.
Shawn says the timing of Jamie's disappearance didn't make sense to her. She says he had a good relationship with his daughter, a job, was recently married, and had been clean from drugs for a year.
Even when he was at his lowest point in his addiction, he was still talking to us, his siblings.
And now, it's been almost 2 years since she's heard from her brother.
It's frustrating. I mean, I feel like I keep hitting this brick wall.
Investigators have searched Logan County several times and followed up on numerous tips, reviewing security footage to check on possible sightings. One tipster even asked officers to test a used wood chipper, thinking it contained human remains.
He thought that there was some bones in it, and we had sent that wood chipper to the crime lab, and they've ruled that out. We've had more false leads that we've investigated than positive leads.
But they have found one answer regarding the mysterious message written on Jamie's car.
In our investigation, we found out that some kids had went swimming at that local bluff hole, and they're the ones that had wrote that message on there.
I was glad to know, that really had nothing to do with his disappearance. But on the other hand, I was also glad because it made me go into action.
Sean says Jamie's family will not stop trying to find more answers. She plans to organize additional searches in Sugar Grove, trying her best to retrace Jamie's steps.
We're not going to give up because, he wouldn't give up if it was one of us.
Lori reached out to Jamie's wife. She declined to talk to us. Chief Villarreal says they do not suspect foul play in Jamie's disappearance. He cites the locked car and disabled engine as evidence this may be a person who doesn't want to be found. Still, police want anyone who may have information about Jamie's disappearance to give their office a call. Time now is 5:43. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Come here. That boy's sleepy. That boy's sleeping.
Jamie Valdez was living in Booneville. He was newly married and newly sober.
If you ask any of us who the favorite is, we're all going to be pointing at Jamie. Jamie's the favorite. And Jamie was the peacemaker.
His sister tells me he quit drugs a year prior, a condition from his then girlfriend if he wanted to marry her, which he did.
He was clean and enjoying life, probably more than he ever had before.
Jamie's sister, Sean Claiborne, says he was last seen by his wife on June 9th, 2021, after they had gotten into an argument.
He got angry because she was called into work when they both had the day scheduled to be off, and they were planning to spend the day together.
Jamie's sister says he indicated he was going to Ozark, where his daughter lives. He took a bunch of clothes along with $600 from his mother-in-law and left. More than a week later, his car was found like this 15 minutes from Booneville in Sugar Grove.
There weren't any tools in Jamie's car, so I don't know how he could have been the one to do that.
Police spent weeks searching the wooded areas.
That last film location was in an area that was underwater at the time of his disappearance.
2 years later, the investigation is still open.
I don't know if it was foul play or if he got into rushing water and drowned. I think there's people out there that know more than what their fear is letting them say. And we just need for those people to come forward and let us know what they know. We can keep them anonymous and take that information to the police.
While Sean doesn't believe her brother is still alive, she hopes for closure to help lessen some of the pain.
His wife is not doing well. She's had a lot of fingers pointed at her. Siblings are emotional wrecks. This is... it's been really hard on all of us siblings. None of us get very much sleep. We're worried and just want resolution and closure.
All right, that was just a couple of video clips I put together. Get this back up here. Get everything right again. And I know that Miss Shawn said that wasn't her favorite coverage, and I understand why. But trust me, I'm going to give you the other side of the coin, so to say. This information that Miss Shawn has so graciously given me. And during the video, I don't know why I didn't advance. Okay, I'll leave it there for now. I bookmarked some comments and questions. So Dandy had said, wouldn't the computer still be able to be analyzed up until it lost power? Are you referring to, I'm assuming, the GPS maybe, or on the vehicle? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But as always, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Arctic had an excellent point. He says, and unfortunately, like many cases that he's working on, he says, I don't feel like Ellie ever really took Jamie's case as seriously as they should have. I feel like they heard the word substances and wrote Jamie off. I know that just infuriates me. like the short video I did, Miss Lisa Joe, I think it was Miss Lisa Joe. Once again, forgive me. The Bridget Eastfold case that Arctic did a video on. I did a video on. There was substances involved in that, and unfortunately, in a lot of these cases, they just, oh, it's has to do with this. They're not worth the time. Infuriates me. I've always been of the opinion in the heart, it doesn't matter what's going on in somebody's life, what they may have done, have been doing at the time, what their past was. Nobody deserves to disappear. If this is foul play, no one deserves that, no matter what. So, all right. Okay, Miss Sean had said later when I talked to the chief, he did apologize and said what he said was that they didn't have any hard evidence leading to show foul play, but we all know. And like I said, when we get into this information that Miss Sean gave me, very, I have a new GIF here. Let me find it. It's going to be very... Sorry, didn't mean to hit that again. Very, very, very red flaggy everywhere. Red flags everywhere. Vid made an excellent point. She says, okay, why would you refuse to talk to the media if you wanted your husband found so badly? Excellent point. Dandy had asked, is that something he did often, just up and go visit his daughter on a whim? And Arctic said, how much more evidence do they need? Jamie did not disable his own vehicle. Absolutely. I agree with you wholeheartedly. All right, let me get back to the live comments. Get back down to where I was. Okay. Yeah, Miss Gale said that has happened way too many times. Ellie ignoring the seriousness. Absolutely. Yep. Miss Sean says he had not been able to see his daughter since they had moved back to Booneville. His wife was a bit controlling, would not let him have a Facebook account or call his siblings. Don't make me bring out the red flag GIF. I should have given you guys a warning. I forgot that it had that really loud noise with it. I apologize if I scared anybody with that. Vid says, so him saying he was going to Ozark must have set her off then. Possibility. Dandy says her story about him up and leaving after not talking to media is sus in her opinion. Absolutely. Hold on for 1 second, guys. Sorry, once again, my allergies. If they graded our road and put down new gravel, and then with the harvest going on and all the chaff in the air, my allergies are. So I had to blow my nose. I didn't want to be rude and do it on camera. Once again, I have a gnat or a mosquito in here with me. As Sean says, possibly she mentioned several times she thought he was going to go see his daughter's mother, but she wasn't even in the area at the time. Yeah, Miss Lisa Joe says, glad they at least took the missing person report. Yep. Absolutely. Because like I said, just like I said in the Bridget Eastfold case, it's been 5 years. And that case is from out of California. Police refuse to take San Diego PD refuses to take a missing persons report. Ms. Sean says, I sought out media coverage just in case he was out there somewhere. I needed him to know we wanted him to come home. Absolutely. And she says, I also wanted to put pressure on whoever was responsible. Yes, ma'am. Sorry, Lisa Joe. I'm sorry. You're talking about the red flag? Yeah, I forgot about the noise because I got it in my earbud that I've got that I've got in, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. I apologize. Yes, Miss Sean's got tons of, yes, there's going to be tons and tons of red flags. Absolutely. Yep, Arctic says media coverage is key, and regardless, he needs to be found, and y'all deserve closure. Yes, sir. Dandy says that red flag needs a red flag. Yeah, I need a red flag warning for my red flag. So I'm sorry, y'all are. I'm not laughing at the case. I'm laughing at y'all's comments about the red flag gift. Oh, Junior says, thank God I didn't have earphones on. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Artie says you need to warn us before playing a siren while we're watching hurricane coverage. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Dandy says, any chance you could talk to people close to her? I'm assuming you're talking about Anna, that might be honest with you. Bless you, Miss Sean. She says, I don't think I've gotten a good night's sleep since he's been missing. And it's been 3 years. Oh, goodness. Yep. Arctic says the ineptitude of Ellie is why many with degrees in criminal justice prefer to work behind the scenes. Marlene, welcome, Marlene Carbo. Good to have you here. She says, what exactly is the wife hiding? That is the question of the night, in my opinion. And probably a lot of, I know in Miss Sean's opinion, and probably a lot of you guys, especially when you hear this other information. Welcome, Stacy Henderson. She says, I hope you find him. I live about 10 to 15 minutes from where he went missing. Night, Junior. Good to have you here. I know it's past your bedtime. Thank you for dropping in, and as always for the support. Thank you, Junior. All right. Okay, so I'm caught up in comments. Okay, so that was the videos. We'll go over that. So I'm gonna leave his missing information up. All right, so now let me get a drink. And I may turn my I'm fixing to I've got all the information. Get my tablet going here. That Miss Sean graciously gave to me. And well, if I can get it going here. I'm probably gonna turn my cam off when I'm reading because I'm gonna be looking down a lot. Let me bookmark the last comment. Hold on more. No, they did not process it in the Equinox or anything, according to the Charley Project information. And what Miss Sean said, no, they didn't. Booneville Police Department apologized to me very recently for that. Well, I appreciate the apology, but what good is an apology gonna do? Yeah, Miss Lisa Joe says it said a bunch of BS. Okay, Miss Sean says Booneville PD said that they thought Logan County Sheriff's Department was going to do the processing, and Logan County the Logan County Sheriff thought the BPD was going to do that. Lord, once again with these different jurisdictions. Absolutely. Miss Lisa Joe says apologies do not make it right. True. Okay, so I'm going to bookmark that. That way I'll know when I get through reading this information, I'll go back to where I left off. And once again, while I'm reading this information, put in questions, comments, all that good mess. So I'm going to turn off my cam just because I'm going to be looking down and not looking at the camera when I'm reading. But you guys should still be able to hear me. And I apologize if you hear me. I'll try not to slurp on my drink. I'll try to sip quietly. All right. So this information came from Miss Shawn. So thank you once again to Miss Shawn for giving me this information. So on June 9th of 2021, Anna, Jamie's wife, posted on Facebook that Jamie had left, quote, yet again. On 6/10/21, Shawn received a Facebook message from Anna asking if she had seen Jamie. They had gotten into an argument the day before. That's what we talked about in the Charley Project information about Anna took a shift at work. Jamie wanted her to stay home so they could spend the day together. The argument did happen in front of Anna's family. Apparently, Jamie called Anna some names. He put clothes in the car, said he was going to go to Ozark. Anna went to work. Sometime later, Jamie showed up at her work and asked if he could go home. Anna basically said, do what you want. I can't do this while I'm at work. This is my job, blah, blah, blah. And then Anna said that Jamie went back to the house. He got more clothes, got $600 from her mother and left. And then Anna claimed that she drove around Ozark looking for him, but didn't see any sign of him or his car. So on an unknown date, Shawn spoke to an anonymous person. This lady said that she had seen Jamie while she was getting gas in Ozark. She ended up inviting him to have dinner with her family. She said during the dinner, they could tell that Jamie was upset. He was quiet. That wasn't normal for him. Jamie said he was upset because of the argument that he and Anna had gotten into earlier. Apparently, Jamie said that Anna had made him stay clean for a year before she would marry him. But he said that she was using, and it made him very upset, understandably. And they had only been married a little over a month when Jamie disappeared. So on 6/12/21, a lady who had worked with Jamie said that she saw him at a convenience store in Cauksville, Arkansas. Now, I'm not familiar with Cauksville, Caulks, Ville. So I don't know how far away from Booneville or Ozark that is. She asked him how he was doing. He said he was living in Texas and he had gotten married. On 6/19/21, Anna messaged Shawn and said that her boss's husband had seen Jamie's car parked at the Bluff in Sugar Grove on Dry Creek Road. So apparently her boss's husband picked Anna up after she got off work and took her to the location where the vehicle was. She sent 2 pictures to Miss Shawn. One was of the writing on the back of the window, which we know that was just a prank by kids. And one was of the torn driver's seat and the seat being pulled up very closer than Jamie drove. The seat was laid down. And apparently Anna asked Miss Shawn if she should call the police. To me, that is a given. And of course, Miss Shawn said, well, yeah, So on 6/20/21, Anna made a missing persons report. Deputy did go out to where the vehicle was. He said he didn't see anything of concern with the vehicle. And this is apparently before, hold on. I keep hitting the wrong thing here on my tablet. Go back to where I was at. The deputy that responded said he did not see anything of concern with the vehicle. Once again, this was before I think we knew about or was found out that the writing on the back of the vehicle was a prank. But it is possible that it had rained and that the writing had been washed off the back of the window at the time that the deputy drove by to look at it. On 6/21/21, a Booneville PD and a search team searched the area around the vehicle. They sent in dive teams to search bodies of water in the area. The vehicle was towed and a hold was put on it. But the very next day, on the 22nd, 6/22/21, the car was towed back to Anna's house. And according to Anna, she said that most of the clothes, boots, and shoes that had been in it when it was in Sugar Grove were gone. On 6/30/21, Ms. Shawn talked to Chief Villarreal for the first time, and that's when she was told about the health insurance card, some wipes, and pocket change that were found about 100 feet from where the vehicle was found. And the chief mentioned that he had received a lead that a man named Tom had Jamie's clothes and car keys. And apparently the chief said he had spoken to Tom. Tom denied having the items or even knowing who Jamie was. Now, whether or not Tom was telling the truth or not, we don't know. On 6/30/21, Anna told Shawn that 2 days before, that 2 days before Jamie went missing, someone had tried to break into their house, and that there was a key or something was stuck in the doorknob, and she had to get the doorknob changed. She sent several photos of the inside of the car, as well as the motor, where the motor had been tampered with. And she said that a red, black, and gray battery-powered metal hand grinder was missing from the back of Jamie's car, and she said that the grinder was her brother's. So on 7/12/21, a lady who had known Jamie for about 10 years messaged Shawn and said that she possibly had seen Jamie at the Casey's in Barling. Once again, I'm not familiar with this part of Arkansas, so I'm not sure how close or far away Barling is. But she was not positive that it was Jamie because apparently her son had passed away a few days earlier, and understandably she was still, distressed about that. But she did say that the person smiled at her and he looked like Jamie. So the chief, Villarreal, emailed Shawn on 7/16/21 and said that they did review the footage. They did not see anyone resembling Jamie. But after talking to the lady, she said that they looked at the wrong time. And apparently the chief was unable to get back to the place where he was possibly seen at to review earlier footage to see if it was in fact Jamie. So on 7/15/21, Ms. Shawn was told by the chief that a man named Calvin had told them that he saw Jamie at a casino in Oklahoma. So one of Jamie's other sisters was told by a friend that a person had told a sheriff's deputy in front of the courthouse that he had also seen Jamie at this casino. So one of the officers called the security at the casino. They said Jamie had not been there in quite a while. The chief did call Miss Shawn on the 7/23 to let her know that Jamie had not been at the casino. And around the same time, Anna asked if someone named Nikki, I'm not sure who Nikki is. I'm just using first names or anonymous for people who wanted to remain anonymous. So Anna asked somebody named Nikki if somebody named Nikki still had Jamie's firearm. And Nikki had never been contacted about keeping a firearm for Jamie. Anna thought that Jamie must have the firearm with him, but later Anna said in an argument on Facebook with someone that she claimed that Jamie had stolen the gun from her when he left and that it was actually her gun. So there was some confusion about the gun. I think, though, in some of this information, she had said that Anna had bought the firearm for Jamie, knowing that he wasn't allowed to have it, because I think he had been convicted on something that he wasn't supposed to have a gun. But then he says here that it was her gun and that he stole it and when he left. On 7/20/21, Sean contacted a lady who their brother said might know something about Jamie and could be keeping it from the police. Now, this is very, very disturbing, very strange. She said that the police had been to her place because a neighbor had reported a foul odor coming from her hot tub. Now, she claimed that the odor was coming from a freezer that she had that was unplugged. In October, when Sean saw the chief again, she asked if they had, in fact, found a freezer on the property, and they said no. And the property owners, if I'm getting this correct, and once again, Ms. Sean, you can correct me if I've misunderstood this, but apparently the property owners asked Ms. Sean if they knew that Jamie was seen at this Tom's house carrying a laundry basket. So we moved to 8/3/21. Sean asked the chief about getting the state police involved. At that time, he said there was not enough hard evidence to do so. They also discussed the info that she had given him that a man named John had seen Jamie walking with this Tom fella. This Tom fella keeps coming up a lot. And while they were walking, Tom was apparently holding a flashlight. So we moved to 8/18/21. Sean spoke to the chief again. He said that someone in jail who said he overheard someone who was incarcerated say that I don't know who they were, said that they had taken Jamie out into the woods. On 8/24/21, an anonymous person wanted to remain anonymous, messaged Miss Sean. She said her husband had met a guy at a community dinner in Booneville. They got to talking. They found out that this guy was apparently going to be going out of town. He needed a place to stay. They invited him to stay at a house that they were renovating. They asked this guy if he had heard about Jamie, and he said, quote, "I ain't saying shite." She said that, I guess the wife said, or the wife of this, that they were having the dinner with, she said that Jamie must have gotten tangled up in some bad stuff. This fella answered yes. He also said, quote, "He is more gone than gone can be." She asked what he thought had happened, and he said, quote, "I bet he is still tied up in the top of a tree somewhere." Oh, I apologize. This is some rough stuff, but she responded, "No way, really?" And he said, quote, "Nope, I don't want to be next. I just got out of jail Friday." And he also said, quote, "I ain't gonna die." She asked if the other guy had tangled or had any altercations with Jamie. He would not answer. He said, quote, "He is better off now than before, I can tell you that." In a conversation the next day, she asked if he knew a crew was going out to search the area around the car, which this was kind of just a ploy of hers, to see if he let out any, to see if he could she could get any information out of her or any kind of reaction out of him. So she said, if he knew the crew was going out to search the area around the car, and said that the car was probably only a smoke screen and a decoy because he wasn't there. And the guy said, quote, "You know it." And he stated that anyone who crosses the other guy, whoever this other guy is, gets taught a lesson. On 8/31/21, Sean received 2 calls from separate anonymous sources, as well as a blocked number. They all said that they heard from the same guy that we were talking about before, that there was more to the story than what he had told police. He said he was working with another unnamed source, and he had told him that a person incarcerated at the time and another group of people had taken Jamie out into the woods, tortured him, and hung him in a tree. She said that he was too afraid to say where Jamie is, but according to him, said that the wife knows and the family will never find him. So bunches and bunches of red flags. I know this is a lot of information. I'm trying to get it through it quickly and efficiently. 10/14/21. Apparently, Anna received a Facebook message from a lady that she wouldn't name. This was an elderly lady. She lived by herself. Apparently, this lady had been out walking at a place called Persimmon Point. And according to her, she found what she called chunks of flesh. And now this was in June, apparently, when she saw this. And Miss Shawn actually later did talk to this lady herself directly. There was no police report done. They didn't talk to this lady about what she'd seen, and they did not follow up on any of this information. On 10/31/21, a lady called Miss Shawn to let her know that her brother, hold on, make sure I'm getting this right. A lady called to let her know that the lady who called, her brother swore that he saw Jamie driving a white GMC Jimmy Bronco. Another man called and said he also saw Jamie driving this vehicle, but he said that there was a passenger with him. He could not see the passenger, and when they turned down by the school. And apparently the lady who called said that she did drive around, but she did not see the Bronco. On 11/10/21, a lady messaged and said that she was talking in a room full of people about Jamie, and a man looked at her and said, quote, "You better check out old Keezer." On 11/17/21, an anonymous person sent Miss Shawn a Facebook message. She had overheard someone in her husband's family talking during a family get-together, that another anonymous unnamed person had a beef against Jamie, and that Jamie was supposed to go to her house in Sugar Grove the day that he went missing to get things straightened out. But this lady said that she didn't know what the problem was, what the beef was about. On 12/6/21, anonymous messaged Shawn on Facebook and said a young lady had apparently was doing some drinking at deer camp, and said that the Booneville Police Department had questioned her about Jamie. She said, now this is pay attention to this. She said that Anna had tried to sell Jamie's car to a man named Ronnie, but he wouldn't buy it. And according to her, she tried to sell it as soon as it was back in her possession. And this woman also thought that she had tried to sell it before Jamie even went missing. And now she also said that here's this Tom again, that Tom had moved out of the house in Sugar Grove. And they also talked about a lady named Therina, and the passing death of someone named Corey. Corey apparently passed away in a four-wheeler accident. And apparently she said that this Tom fella was not out of town like people were led to believe when Corey had the four-wheeler accident and passed away. So we've got Therina that's passed away, Corey that has passed away. This Tom apparently is in the middle of a lot of stuff. January 19th of 22, Ms. Shawn did approach Anna and offer to pay for an independent lie detector test to help clear Anna's name. Anna became angry. She refused the lie detector test. Ms. Shawn also asked Anna if somebody named Larry, and I can't remember exactly who Larry is, if Larry might be responsible for what had happened to Jamie. Once again, Anna became irate, and she said something to the effect that she knew people would point fingers at Larry due to his past. So on 4/24/22, Shawn spoke to this Ronnie. He said that Anna tried to sell him Jamie's car while it was still sitting at Sugar Grove. So when it was still sitting where it had been found, allegedly, I have to say allegedly, Anna was trying to sell it even while it was still sitting there. And I believe it was even before it had been, the police had even looked at it, because this Ronnie said that he had gone to tow it back to his place, and that's when the police showed up to do the search. So on 5/10/22, Ms. Shawn emailed the chief again, or emailed the chief a Facebook conversation with Anna. Apparently, Anna was publicly accusing Jamie of cheating on her for 7 months while they were together. Now, through Ms. Shawn's detective work and just looking at, she had screenshots, I believe, of this conversation. She figured out or determined that this conversation was actually from 2019, which was before Jamie and Anna even started dating. But when she brought this to Anna's attention, Anna either refused to believe it or acted like she didn't believe it, something of that nature. So just some couple of notes. Apparently a member of Anna's family has an extensive criminal history. He was arrested and went to prison with several other people for kidnapping. Once again, trigger warning for this. So apparently during this kidnapping, they tied a man to a chair, tortured him, and when they thought that he was deceased or almost deceased, they put a rope around his neck and threw him off a bridge. Now, thankfully, the rope was too long. The man did survive. He went to get help, and that's how they ended up in prison. And this person, one of Anna's family members, also had a DV arrest. Just saw some rumors that Jamie's family has heard. They've heard that Jamie was dumped in a well. They heard that he was in pieces in Sugar Grove, which that caught my attention because of the fact that earlier we had this elderly lady that said she was out walking and said that she saw chunks. Now, I'm not trying to be morbid or anything here, or but if that, her story is true, that she said she saw chunks of flesh, human flesh. There might be, just something to think about. They've also heard rumors that Jamie was buried in the forest somewhere. So, and I'll let Miss Shawn expound on this if she wishes to, but she had said in her opinion that this Tom fella that kept popping up was used as a decoy, because it was rumored that he was responsible for this Therina's disappearance, which was 1 year prior to Jamie's disappearance. All right, I think that is all the information. And I hope I tried to do it quick, but not too quick. I wanted it to make sense and But I'm sure you guys have lots of questions and comments, and I'm sure Miss Shawn has some input. So let me get, I think I remember to bookmark the last comment I read, so hopefully won't take me long to get back down to where I was at. Okay, all right. I think I'm back down to where I was at. What did I do with my stylus? Hold on. Nope, there it is. Okay. Let me get to everybody's comments, questions. Miss Lisa Joe says, so who had the vehicle? I'm sure Miss Shawn has answered it, will answer it, but from what I understand, the police towed it, had it in custody less than 24 hours because the next day it was, if I understand correctly, it was towed back to Anna's house without being processed. Yes, Miss Shawn says it was towed back to Anna's house. Yes, Arctic says who has the vehicle now? They may still be able to pull blood evidence. Excuse me. They found a hair. Yes, they found the hair in the Morgan Nick case after 30 years. Absolutely. Yes. Does Anna still, I'm sure Miss Shawn has probably already answered. Yeah. Does Anna still have the vehicle? Yeah. Gail says famous last words. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry about not processing. Yes, and then it was repossessed. Yes. So evidently it's not at Anna's house. Yeah, it's an excellent point. Arctic says, well, I'm sure it's been wiped clean by now. Yeah, by then. Yeah, especially if, not putting any blame on anybody, but yeah, if it was back in somebody else's possession, I'm sure it was wiped down. Gail says, I was talking about slurping on my tea earlier. Gail says, I'm slurping on my tea, but y'all can't hear me. I try to be quiet when I slurp, when I take a drink. Okay, so Miss Shawn says on the last online search they did, the vehicle was in Dallas. So is it a private owner that has it? Did somebody buy it, or was it, resold or whatever? Yes, thank you, Miss Shawn. Miss Shawn says, I'm so glad they're finally able to get some evidence of what happened to Morgan. So very, very sad. Absolutely. Yep, that's what should have happened. Miss Lisa Joe says, I think in regards to this vehicle, they'd need prints, etc., being that it was JB's vehicle. How could it not be? Okay, so Miss Shawn says, I asked the chief to go process the vehicle 2 weeks after he went missing, and he said that wouldn't be admissible in court. I could kind of see that, because if it was, in my opinion, I'm not a professional by any means, but I've listened to, like Mr. Steve, who is a professional, former law enforcement, and others. There is chain of custody. So ideally they should have towed the vehicle to their police lot, processed it, kept it in their possession, logged everything, chain of evidence, all that. That way, if in the future somebody, it is found that there is foul play and somebody is prosecuted or charged, then they would be able to use this evidence. But since they botched it and didn't process it, and the day after they told it, they sent it back to her. Any defense lawyer worth their salt could easily say, you know, can't use it, throw it out. Unfortunately. Yes, that is true. Artie says that's BS. That's just lazy on the part of law enforcement. Absolutely. Absolutely. Vid says that is beyond sad when authorities won't take you seriously with a reasonable request. Jamie's car could have had yes, could have had that. It could be a possible crime scene or part of a, you know, one crime scene. There could be multiple crime scenes. But yes, it definitely should have been immediately taken into possession by law enforcement, towed to their lot, to their processing place, processed, kept in their lot, not given back, you know. It's unreal. Infuriates me. Yes. Dandy says everything about this is suspicious. I'm only an armchair detective. Same here. But you don't have to be. This to me, this is just, especially when I read all this information that Miss Shawn gave me, it's just common sense. You don't even have to be a detective. Any person with half a brain would know, hey, there's something not right here. You might want to investigate a little bit, and you know, I don't understand. Don't understand. I would do my red flag gift again, but I don't want to scare. I don't want to scare anybody again. Stacy says that town, probably one of the ones I mentioned in the information that I said I didn't know where it was, is 10 to 15 minutes from Booneville, so it's in that general area. Thank you. That is true. Lisa Joe says even if it wouldn't be admissible in court, it could certainly lead to something that is. That is true. That is an excellent. I would love to join you if you do this. Arctic says, oh, Ellie really does not want me to go live on this, but I think I may need to. Shawn, would you guys be comfortable coming on panel to discuss Jamie's case? I'm telling you, Miss Shawn, I don't know how well you know Arctic, but you can definitely trust him. He is one of the best. One of the best. He is legit. Absolutely. Oh, Miss Shawn said yes. Yay. Oh, if that happens, oh, I can't wait to see it. Can't wait to see it. Vid says, or was it a staged break-in attempt? That's, or I thought about that too. When it said 2 days after he went missing or so, Anna claimed that somebody had tried to break into the house and that a key or something was stuck in the doorknob and she had to have it changed. That very same thought came to my mind when I read that too. Miss Lisa Jo, don't you ever stop advocating. I'll come whoop you, girl. Absolutely. Miss Shawn says, keep advocating. Miss Lisa Jo is a rock star. Absolutely. Thank you, Arctic. I knew Arctic would step up. He always does. Absolutely. Arctic is a rock star. Okay, thank you. Miss Stacy also says that Barling is 45 minutes to an hour from Booneville. Thank you. Like I said, I'm in Central Arkansas, and I'm not. I've heard of all these places. I haven't. I've heard of Booneville, but I don't. You know, there's a lot of places in Arkansas that that I have not been to or not familiar with. I haven't been to them enough to know how close together these little or these communities are. So thank you so much for that information. Oh, okay. Thank you. Nikki, that was mentioned in the information, is another one of Jamie's sisters. Thank you. I may have missed that when I was retyping it from where you had sent it to me from. I was retyping it on my tablet, so I might have left that part out or accidentally. It was very late last night when I was, because I was trying to figure out how I was going to do all the information. I was going to pre-record it and just do it, and then I didn't want to do it like that. So it was a whole thing. I'm OCD when it comes to trying to put stuff together for a show. I want it to be, as precise as possible. There's Chris Gideon. Welcome. Good to have you here, Chris. Glad you made it. Yes, Arctic, do let us know. I would love, yes, I'm definitely want to be there listening, or there when you do, when you have Miss Shawn on to talk about Jamie's case. Absolutely. We will share that mofo far and wide, and we'll get everybody there. Oh, Arctic is going to make me do it. Hold on. Y'all get ready. Take off your earbuds. Get ready. Sorry, I had to do it. At least I gave y'all some warning that time. Oh, bunches and bunches of red flags. Everywhere, red flags. Oh, now I lost my, oh, there it is. Okay. I think I might be inviting myself to. Lisa Jo says that she's inviting herself to be on Arctic's panel. I'm inviting myself to. Chris says he is not familiar with this case. Well, you can definitely watch the replay or go back and watch what you haven't seen up until you got here. Very, to me, it's almost cut and dried, but once again, that's just my opinion. I'm not a professional. Yes, thank you, Miss Lisa Jo. Yes. Jamie has been missing since 2021 from Booneville, Ozark. Miss Shawn, who is in here, is one of Jamie's sisters. She is amazing. She's an amazing human being. She was kind enough to trust me and Arctic, which you can trust Arctic. Arctic is, like I said, he's a rock star. I just get on here and do the best I can with my little horse and pony show. But Miss Shawn was gracious enough to trust me with her, to share Jamie's story. Absolutely. You want to come up, Arctic? I know that was I'll put the link in, Arctic. I'm behind in comments about, how far am I behind? About 20 minutes. Hold on. Let me put that up there so I'll know where to, because it might throw me down to the bottom of comments when I put this in. All right, Arctic, if you're still here, you can jump on. Put it up there so I can see if you come up. Dandy says, can you take all of this to the local FBI? That is a good question. Oh, there he is. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
How are you?
Oh, my blood's a boiling.
All right, you let loose. I'll give it to you, bud.
I'm just going to give fair warning to anyone that's new here. I'm a lot more outspoken than Dawn is, and
Yeah.
I'm a lot more unfiltered. So, yeah.
Go for it. Go for it, buddy. I don't mind.
The ineptitude of the law enforcement in this case and the gall and audacity to offer an apology for not processing the car as it should have been processed from day one. And then they get tips about body parts being found and a smell coming from someplace, and they don't even properly investigate it. Are you fucking kidding me?
I know that jumped out at me. Obviously, I mean, it smacked me in the face about like the older wood. I'm like, really? You get this, this report. There's this foul odor coming from somewhere, and she says, it's my freezer got unplugged. And then I think Miss Sean said she asked the law enforcement, did they even see a freezer when they went there? They said no. Hello.
Oh, well, I mean, and then they're saying, well, even if we processed it after the fact, it wouldn't be admissible in the court. Are you fucking serious? We just had a hair found after almost 30 years in a truck that led directly to a suspect being named. Are you kidding me right now? I
I
mean,
know.
it's
Go
not
ahead.
very often that I'm left speechless, but this damn near left me speechless.
I know. It's crazy. It is crazy. See, I didn't know how much you knew about, any of the details or whatever. I didn't know if you had been in touch
I
with Miss
didn't go
Sean or
deep.
anything.
No, I haven't talked to Sean. I did just one of my short 2-minute videos on it. I didn't have a chance to deep dive it like I probably should have, and that's why I want the family to come on panel,
Yes.
because this stuff needs out there. And believe me, law enforcement knows by now that when I go live, they better just be ready. So.
I said you're a good squeaky wheel. Absolutely. Yes, I would love to see. Yes, like I said, told Miss Sean, she can definitely trust Arctic. Absolutely, he is legit.
Well,
So I would love to see that.
I've never really publicly made it known, but there's a reason why I do what I do, and why I, in my opinion, I guess others' opinion, am pretty good at it. It's because I do have a degree in criminal justice. I never,
Ah,
I never became a law enforcement officer because of all the corruption and the ineptitude, but I can work behind the scenes, and I think I'm
ab-
more effective behind the scenes than I would be out on the street. So.
absolutely. Now we know. Now I know. See, I always wondered if and I understand why you wouldn't say anything, but I always wondered if you had some kind of background in criminal, something to do with law enforcement or criminal justice just by, conversations and stuff. But now I know, absolutely. That is fantastic.
Yeah, Sean, if you send me the information on Thurina, I'll look into that case too. I'll look into any cases that need covered.
Yes, I was also going to ask, message Miss Sean about the Thurina case because that I wanted to know about that too. Um,
But yeah, I mean, it's frustrating, and we've seen so many cases, and then this coming on the heels of the case that we just covered out of California, where 5 years and they
yes,
wouldn't even take a missing persons report. It's amazing I haven't stroked out tonight.
yeah. Take your blood pressure medicine. I don't know if you take blood pressure medicine, but maybe you should.
Oh, I'm on 3 of them, girl.
Oh goodness, I'm on two, so we're right there. I think you would Miss Lisa Joe. I think needs to take some too. I'm just trying to get through comments here. Okay, I wonder who Larry was too. Larry is Anna's brother. Gotcha. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Well, yeah, and I know you're being all, well, we don't have anything to confirm that Anna was responsible, but I don't know what more we need. The vehicle
Uh,
didn't disable its fucking self.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, Vid says, failing a lie detector test, that alone should have been enough to hold her on. No, she didn't. Did she take the I don't
Well,
think she
she
took
didn't
one.
take the lie detector test, but honestly, this
You
is where
can't.
I'll say I wouldn't take a lie detector test either. And the reason why is they're junk science. There's a reason why they're not admitted into court. And even guilty parties can pass a lie detector test. For God's sake, Chris Watts passed a lie detector test.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and they're obviously not admissible in court. And I think is it Mr. Steve that always says he's more interested in the pre-questions they ask, because that is very telling. He could learn more from that than the actual questions about whatever crime they're being questioned about.
To me, they're just not even a good and effective tool. That's part of the reason why they took
True.
Billy Jack Links off so quickly, is because he
Oh
passed the
God,
lie detector test.
don't even get me started on that. Yeah, that again. And oh yeah, he says, "Oh, I didn't do it." Okay, you're free to go. Ugh. You're gonna get my blood pressure up. Uh, yeah. So this Tom that kept coming up, but Miss Sean said she thinks that, in her opinion, he's just a decoy, which I kind of agree. But Gail said Tom should be checked out. So should Anna. Absolutely. The one
Well,
who's angry is the one guilty. Yeah.
most definitely Anna. Yes,
Yes.
Tabitha, I drop the F bomb all the time, and I'm
Yeah.
probably ruining Dawn's algorithm, but she knows
It's
before she brings me on what's going to happen. So,
That's fine. As much as the community, everybody always shares. So the important people get to see it. You know what I'm saying. It gets out there. It gets out there.
I do apologize, and I will try to do better, but I can't promise anything.
It's okay. It's okay. You be you. I wouldn't have you, like you said, I know you. I wouldn't have you come on here if I was worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Trust me, it'll get shared enough where all the right people, lots of people will see it.
Well, I shared
Um,
it out as soon as I saw that you were going live about it this afternoon, because it's a case that really needs coverage. I
yes.
mean, I live in Fort Smith, and I never saw any real local coverage on
Yeah.
this case except for a few small news clips. But I never saw anything put out by the Booneville PD about Jamie being missing. And
Hmm.
like I said, I feel like it's one of those cases where they heard drugs and all of a sudden they just wrote him off. And it's a tale as old as time. We see it in all kinds of cases that we cover. And I don't care who the person is, what they've done in their life, what drugs they've done, if they've got a criminal record, what the case is. That's still someone's brother, that's still someone's father, that's still someone's son, and they all deserve the same coverage and the same effort being put out towards trying to find them.
Absolutely. I agree. That's what made me so mad too, going back to the Bridget Eastfolk case. That's my opinion. That's why they just basically wrote her off, because substances were involved. Um, oh, and remind me just quickly, Miss Lisa Joe, another creator, had after they watched the Bridget's video I did, sent me some very interesting information. I took a screenshot of it. I will send it to you on Messenger, and see what you think about it. Could be
Okay.
something, could be nothing. I'll send it to Arctic. I'll send it to Lisa Joe. I'll send it to, because I think Miss Lisa Joe was the one that brought it to our attention, Bridget's case. So I'll send it to both of you. Um, and I have watched this creator some before, and so it's not one of those ones that people shouldn't be watching. So, but I'll send the screenshot to both of y'all. Let's see. Oh yeah, I had this up. Yes, Miss Shawn says, not going back to the chunks of flesh that this elderly lady's seen. It was actually a finger and a nipple. So definitely human. Definitely human.
Yeah. How are you going to go to law enforcement since you found a finger and a nipple,
Hmm.
and law enforcement's like, nothing to see here.
Exactly. Because you just come across I've lived on the farm, traversed the woods all my life, and I've never come across pieces of human flesh. You just said, "Oh, hey," just everyday occurrence that you come across that kind of stuff.
You know what the problem is? The problem is that these people aren't hiding the bodies and the missing people at Daylight Donuts. If they were hiding them there, they'd be found right away.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, Miss Tabitha says, and I apologize, I'm trying to get caught up in comments. Innocent wives want to find their husbands. Innocent wives are quick to do anything to clear their names. Innocent wives want to be able to find their husband, dead or alive. Very well said. Exactly.
That's true. And I didn't ask, but Sean, did Anna ever participate in any of the searches for Jamie? I'm going to take a stab and say probably not.
Probably not. That would be my guess. Thank you, Gail. Gail's probably already gone, but thank you, Gail, for being here. Yep, I would think just from the information Miss Shawn gave me, probably she probably didn't. Just my opinion, she probably did not participate in much of anything except for getting the truck back. She wanted to get that back, apparently.
Oh, yeah, because the sooner she gets that back, the sooner she can spray it down with bleach and eliminate all the evidence.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a witness to a fight before Jamie goes missing. I mean, there's just so much here that I cannot believe that law enforcement hasn't taken more action. I mean, if I was interrogating this woman, I would have her in there for hours. And believe me, if I was interrogating her, I'd bring her to tears. I would make her break. But that's just me. But I mean, of course, I also would have, roped off the vehicle with crime scene tape. Maybe tested for fingerprints, maybe tested for blood, maybe sprayed that bitch down with some luminol. But,
That reminds me now, and I can't believe I forgot it. Miss Shawn did actually send me links. I don't know what it may have been from her YouTube profile of when they were interrogating some Anna or questioning or getting her whatever. But I didn't know if she wanted me to use them tonight. But she could probably, if you're going to do your live with her or whatever, she'll probably. I'm sure she can send you the links to them. I watched a little bit. I think there's 4 clips. I watched a little bit of one of them, but I completely forgot about those.
I absolutely want Shawn to send me every piece of information that she has, because I do have some connections and some people that I want to look at the scenario and give me their insight on it too. But yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. We need to get this out there and in front of as wide an audience as possible. So hopefully, if I pick it up, you're picking it up, more creators will jump on it and pick it up, and we can get Jamie's information out. So
yes. Okay, Miss Shawn says that the vehicle is owned by a private owner now. Well, that sucks rocks, to put it mildly. In my opinion, it should never have. It should have been taken into police custody, taken into by the police and kept, and not let. They should still have that car now, 3 years later.
it should have never left the police garage. It should have been retained as evidence, especially the second they saw that computer and battery had been tampered with. That should have been the first red flag. That would have immediately gone into my processing center, and it wouldn't have left until the case was solved.
Exactly. Yeah, but because between the tampering and then, to me, because in a lot of cases, when you find a vehicle, a lot of times it's a short person on the car or whatever. Either a short person on the car and they found the car and the seat was pulled all the way back, usually indicating somebody else was driving it. Or in another case, if it was like in Jamie's case, the seat was pulled forward, like a shorter person had been driving it. That's always a red flag to me too.
So Shawn says that at one point, Anna lived with the chief's family when she was 18 and he was 9. So there's also a conflict of interest going on within the police department.
Yes, I'm still behind, but yeah, that is wow.
A conflict of interest? Who would have thunk? I've never seen that in a case before.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. And then Lisa says, when it comes to the wife searching, Anna searching, she said, well, it depends on the situation. You know, if the wife was the one to find them, are they going to look suspicious? And then, you know, obviously you don't want to come across your husband's remains, which I do see that, which is part of the reason why law enforcement agencies often will not let the families go out and search. But she could have still been boots on the ground, hanging flyers. She could have been out there doing the most to try to get the word out about her husband, and she just really wasn't, in my opinion.
Oh, mine either. Mine either. Yeah. Like I said, the least she could do, hang flyers, ask, did you see him? You know, just like you said, just boots on the ground. But I think we've all got a pretty good idea of why she was not doing that. Um, yeah, Miss Tabitha says, I've been in law enforcement and this was a totally botched investigation. They heard in recovery and quit. Yeah, that's just,
Yeah, that's
that
exactly
gets
what
my blood
happened.
pressure up.
You know, and
Um,
law enforcement often won't let immediate family members search. I'm going to be honest. The only reason why I've been allowed on the searches that I have been is because I do have the credentials. But if I was just some average Joe off the street, they wouldn't be taking me on these searches with them.
yeah, and they have, like you said, they have reasons. You know, they don't, if somebody does happen to come up on some evidence, you know, and they don't know, maybe, although you would think they would know, you know, don't touch it. You know, you immediately get away from it, alert whatever law
Well,
enforcement or
yeah.
whoever's there, you know.
I mean, because a family's first instinct, if they
It,
aren't responsible for the crime, is
yeah,
that they're going to immediately want to embrace their loved one. I mean, and you know that's critical evidence. Yeah,
yes,
the family's not wanting to tamper with evidence, obviously, but there's that emotion to hug your loved one, no matter what, if you come across them, and it could destroy any evidence that could be used in a case. So.
absolutely. Welcome, Shamrock. Good to have you here. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Hi, Sean. Find Jamie. Absolutely. And I put the hashtag find Jamie Valdez in the my little crawler there. So please, when you're sharing anything about Jamie, any information, poster, this video, Arctic's video, please use the hashtag find Jamie Valdez.
Sean, did they ever bring cadaver dogs out to the area where Jamie's vehicle was found? And I know the answer to this, or where the flesh was found. Probably not the flesh because they didn't take that seriously. But
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I
oh, they did.
know.
They did apparently bring the cadaver dogs out to where the vehicle was found. So
Yeah, let me find that. 1 minute. Well, if I can get my fingers to work here. I thought I read somewhere in the information about cadaver dogs. It may have just been search dogs. I don't know if it was cadaver dogs. Because and they brought the dive team people that a dive team to dive in to search some of the bodies of water. Hold on, make sure I didn't pass it. I know I read it somewhere. Well, of course, now I can't find it. But yeah, there was something about dogs, but I don't know if it was cadaver dogs. It may have just been like scent dogs or something. Let me see. Uh,
no, Shamrock, they didn't do any DNA testing because they never took that tip seriously. They wrote the tip off about the flesh.
mm-hmm. That just, oh God. I was going to say, I can't believe it. But in this case, it's reminding me of Timmy's case. Oh God, all the things are right there and, you know, it's obvious. And you're most welcome. Absolutely. And once again, our Rockstar Arctic is most likely going to do at some point a live, hopefully with Miss Shawn on. So we are looking very forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always. Here's the deal. I think that the families can tell the story far better than I can,
Yes,
but Sean, I'm just going to let you know if the wrong creator happens to watch the stream, there's creators out there that will take everything you say and try to twist it to fit some type of narrative. So just, that's the only reason why I don't do a lot of lives with family members, because look at what happened in Sebastian's case. The Proudfits went on Duchess's panel, and people took everything Chris Proudfit said and twisted it to fit a certain narrative. So
yeah. Mm, yes, I'm definitely look
but
into this Serena Watson.
it could also be very, very beneficial too, because Timmy D's would probably still be laying in a ditch somewhere had I not brought Barbara up on panel. So
That is very true. That is true. Dandy was given a warning. Oh goodness. Yep, preach it. Arctic's gonna preach it. Absolutely. Yes, Miss Shawn says Serena went missing 1 year before Jamie did, but not a whole lot has been aired or talked about regarding her case. I will definitely, if you, once again, Miss Shawn, if you have any information about Serena, you can send it to me and Arctic, whatever you have, and then we'll both research and see what we can come up with and do videos or a live stream, whatever the case may be. Absolutely.
And Don, you're always welcome on my panel. So when I have Sean on there, I would very much love for you to be a part of that.
Oh, I would love to be. Like I said earlier, I think I was going to invite myself to be on your panel, whether you wanted me to be or not. But I figured you would say yes. So yes, I would love to. Absolutely. Absolutely.
See, we do have a small circle of creators here that
Yes.
work very well together, that, we share our resources, we share our information with each other, and we've made a big difference in a lot of the cases. So,
Yes. Yes, we have like I said, we have our little circle that we know and trust. That there's the right people that does it for the right reasons. And Arctic is definitely in the circle. Arctic and Duchess, and of course Mr. Steve, but he's busy doing
and of
boots on the
course,
ground work. Yes,
Mind of
mind them.
Monsters, please send
Absolutely.
prayers, because she did not evacuate. She was
Oh
still there
no.
as of this afternoon. She said that the roads were so backed up that there was no way to get out.
Oh my God. Oh yeah, I was worried about her. Absolutely. And I think yesterday it was probably Mrs. Steve posted that Mr. Steve had taken her parents to Georgia, but that Mrs. Steve and baby Steve's husband and the grandbabies, they were all still in wherever they are in Florida. So just prayers to them too.
Prayers for the entire state, because this thing
Yes.
is far from over, and it landed as a Cat 3. Last I heard, the winds were sustained at 122 miles per hour. They've had over 100 tornado warnings today.
Oh my
Um,
Lord.
they had at least 8 that I counted as of 1 o'clock this afternoon that touched down in different parts of Florida.
Yeah, I saw some. I still got it on the Weather Channel here, but earlier when we were eating supper, we had the TV on, and they were on the Weather Channel, and they were showing some of the videos of the tornadoes. And I mean, living in Arkansas, we're used to tornadoes, but
Yeah, and JLR's dumbass was out there driving around in the tornadoes.
well, does that really surprise you with him?
Well, no. Someone was talking in another live that I was in about he needs to
Mm,
get a helmet. I was like, no, well, he needed to get the helmet before the brain damage existed.
yeah, don't get me started on him. That is what just stay away from that. Just stay away from that whole mess. Anybody who doesn't know JLR, don't even go there. Stay away. So Miss
I
Shawn
mean,
said,
I
go.
chase storms, but I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I've done it for enough years that I know what
Hmm.
I'm doing. There's a difference. I mean,
Exactly. And you probably got a few more brain cells than he does. So, uh, okay. So Miss Shawn says Anna, surprise, surprise, Anna has threatened to sue her several times. So I
wow,
stayed low key for a long time after I went to the missing person event in Arkansas held by the Attorney General's office. I said no more Mrs. Nice Guy. Good for you, Miss Shawn. You go.
absolutely.
Yep.
No one should ever stay silent. And
No.
I'm pretty sure that any lawsuit that she would have filed would have been thrown out. I
Oh
mean,
yeah. With all this information and evidence that is there, but that just blows my mind again about this case, because apparently I didn't know, or I missed the part that Anna has ties with the chief, with the Villarreal. Uh, Definite conflict of interest. Uh, Vid, I don't know. Vid says, I'm sorry. She's been in and out of the room. Who was this Tom in relation to Anna? I don't know. His name kept popping up though. Um, I'm sure Miss Shawn is probably already answered or I just haven't got there yet.
Dandy, facts ain't defamation, so you must listen to BJ too.
Miss Tabitha says, I'm glad I'm not the only one to drop the F-bomb when I get mad about cases. Oh, I try to put my muzzle on, but in my head, I'm saying all sorts of F-bombs and everything else you can think of.
Oh Lord, it's no wonder that I even still have a channel as many F bombs as I've dropped.
Uh, but I think, can they actually take your channel down for that, or are they just like strike it or bury? I've heard that if you say certain words, it doesn't even have to be curse words, like, that apparently they don't like the gun and the
And
self-harm, and
I think that
supposedly they bury it.
they probably do, which explains why I've got 15,000 subs and most of my videos get 200, 300 views.
Yeah, I think that's what they do basically, is they just kind of bury it. They say, oh, it's got too much, it's got words we don't like. So we're just going to bury it and not push it out. I said,
And
I'm not worried about it.
they'll definitely demonetize you for certain
Yeah,
things, that's why I won't monetize my channel, because I don't want to be censored and filtered by YouTube. If I can't speak my mind and say and call it what it really is, I don't need to be here.
exactly. And did you ever get the deal figured out about them not letting you could only post so many videos or whatever it was a day?
Yeah, I found out that was a glitch on the part of YouTube. It's fixed. I've been able to post since then.
Good, good, absolutely. Because I was like, I've never heard of that before. Okay. Ms. Shawn says Tom was said to possibly be responsible, okay, for Therina being missing. They had dated prior to her going missing, and Tom lived just a block up the road from where Jamie's car was. Okay. So that is how Tom is connected. Thank you, Miss Shawn. Thank you, Shamrock. Thank you so much. Oh, if I can get it to come up. There it is. Thank you. Like I said, don't matter how many F-bombs is dropped, enough people will share this out that people will see it. Absolutely. Yeah, Miss Shawn says her thinking is that Tom is more intelligent than to leave Jamie's car so close to his home. Yeah. Yep. Vid says sounds like this Tom was quite busy. Possibly. Or like Miss Shawn says, he could just be a scapegoat or a decoy, at least for Jamie's case. Yeah, Vid says, was just going to say this cop makes Barney Fife look like a real cop. Yeah, with the bullet in the pocket and everything. Okay, Ms. Sean says, so just the search where the advocate interviewed her and they found his last phone location on her computer. On Anna's computer? Sorry, I might be behind or missed something.
Well, see, that's the other thing I wanted to ask. Did they do any for? I don't even need to ask, but did they do any forensics on Anna's phone, on her computer, to see if maybe she had been talking to people about certain things in the time prior to Jamie going missing?
I agree with you. We probably already know the answer, but they should have, but they probably didn't. Shamrock says she, talking about Anna, seemed shady AF in her interview. Yeah, I've got to watch the rest of those clips that or videos that Miss Sean sent me. I've just been so busy trying to get all this together that but I am going to definitely watch them. Okay, so now I finally got down to the part where to the comment where Miss Sean said that Anna lived with Chief's family when she was 18, and she was 18 and he was 9. Vid says this case most definitely needs to be taken to Arkansas State Police.
Yeah, Sean said that the police did look at her phone and said they didn't find anything, and that they pointed out if it were her, she would have deleted anything incriminating. And I agree. They need to pull the records directly from the phone company, and they also need to get a warrant to pull her social media profiles, such as Facebook, Snapchat, and everything, because you can delete a lot of shit from your phone, but you can't delete it from the servers.
That is true. And sometimes, even if you delete stuff off your phone, if you get the right, they can do whatever it's called and find stuff that is supposedly deleted, but it's not really deleted completely off the phone. But I know that's a different kind of technology they have to use to do all that.
Of course, they have to get a warrant in order to do that stuff, and they
True.
have to have probable cause in order to do that. So, I mean, it's a tricky situation getting a warrant to do that, but I would think, given the situation that she refused to take the lie detector test, that she wasn't out there actively hanging flyers looking for her husband, what have you. There would be enough circumstantial evidence, especially when you have people finding flesh that witnessed a fight and all that. The totality of the circumstantial evidence should have been enough to where they could have got the warrant that they needed.
Exactly. Unreal. Yeah, Vid says sounds like the police need to be investigated too. Once again, shades of Timmy's case.
Yeah.
Hey, John Paul Henson, welcome. Shamrock says, could they be covering up for her? Definite possibility, in my opinion. Especially with this information that they knew each other, long time ago. Ms. Sean says, I asked ASP if they thought it would be a conflict of interest, and they said that in a small town, everyone is going to know everyone. Well, to my opinion, that's even more of a reason to bring in an outside county or state or whatever. I mean,
Absolutely. And what frustrates me so much, and we've seen it in other cases, is that the family will want the FBI brought in, but unless local law enforcement asks the FBI to get involved, they can't do anything. Their hands are tied. And so it's frustrating. And I always tell families when they come to me and ask what they should do, I was like, look, you don't just report it to the local agency. You go to the Arkansas State Police, to your local highway patrol, you go to the local chapter of the FBI. If your state has a Bureau of Investigation, you report it to them, because these agencies do not always communicate with each other. And when they do, a lot gets lost in translation. So you need to report the person to every agency that you can think of in order to get that case effectively handled.
exactly. Because I've already forgotten, but there was some information that I read from Miss Sean that was it the missing persons report or something, that the local town, Booneville or whoever it was, thought that the county had done it, and the county thought that the city had done it, and no communication. Mm. Ms. Sean says, I participated in one search and took a special trip to do that. 10-hour drive. It was the last phone location. I was looking up in the trees as much as as I was looking at the ground. Mm. So where, if you can say where was, I know you might have already, and I just haven't got there. Where was the location that the phone last pinged at? Was it close, far? You said it was a 10-hour drive, but I don't know where you are in regards to where the car was found. Okay, Miss Shawn says no to where the flesh was. Yep, Stacy says, if my husband was missing, I would not sleep. I would be doing whatever they need. Absolutely. Yep, Vid says they had so much evidence from this case, more evidence than 20 cases put together, and they've messed that up. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, they dropped the ball completely on this case. Number one, like I said, from the start, they should have roped off that Equinox and processed it properly. It should have never been allowed to go back to Anna. It should have never left the impound lot that law enforcement has. I mean, I can't. I mean, it's so frustrating with
Oh,
these
I
cases.
know. Absolutely. That is a good, Shamrock says, did they do any, I don't even know if they collected it, but Shamrock said, did they do any DNA testing on the flesh that they found? Michonne says, no. Oh, they didn't even go out. Yeah, that's right, because they said they didn't even go investigate it or follow up on what this the lady said about finding the flesh. Oh my God.
I can't imagine getting Booneville police. Yeah, I just found a nipple and a finger. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, we've gotten a lot of calls like that. Just, bury it in the backyard. It'll eventually take care of itself. We've got a lot on our plate right now. I can't send a guy out.
I know that just, yeah, because it's every day that you find pieces of human flesh just laying around. Yes, Shamrock says, OMG, that is crazy. Everything, the more that we're going into this and the more little bits of information that I'm finding out here and that Arctic's finding out is just even more. Oh, goodness. Ms. Shawn says the area where the flesh was floods. I can't use my words. Floods frequently, so would not have stayed there long. That's why they should have went out and collected it when the little lady found it and reported it. Because I think I don't think I included it in the information because I was trying to pare down a little bit, but that the elderly lady found it, and then she, of course, said she was, got sick. I would have too, and she has to be taken to the doctor or something. And they met up with the police there, and apparently she told that police officer, "Hey, I just saw some human flesh, a finger and a nipple out. You might want to go take a look at it." And they didn't
I mean,
do it.
what possible reasoning could they come up with for not going out and collecting that evidence? I honestly, Sean, your family has a case for against the Booneville police, in my opinion, because the ineptitude of that department from start to finish has been so great. I mean, if it were me, I'd put up another GoFundMe for a lawyer, and I would sue the Booneville Police Department.
Mm-hmm. I would too. That is just ridiculous. Even
I mean,
just
where
on
did
the.
they think that this nipple came from? Was Molly Golightly out there airing up one of her fake titties, and it exploded and left her nipple sitting there?
Oh goodness. Yeah, like I keep saying, yeah, it's just a normal everyday, thing to find nipples and fingers laying out in the. You're welcome, Miss Paula. And I want to get back to where'd it go? I want Miss Tabitha says thank you so much for giving Jamie spotlight and coverage. Absolutely, it is my honor and my pleasure. And you wait till Arctic gets a hold of it. I'm telling you, it's gonna be crazy. We're gonna be on the crazy train, the good crazy train though. Because this I feel like we're on the crazy train right now with this case. It's just, oh goodness. Um, thank you. Yes, closure and justice for Jamie. Absolutely. Shamrock says most of our family and friends live in Florida. We're waiting to hear from everyone. Thoughts, prayers, and good vibes. I hope they are okay. I hope everybody is okay. Well, now somehow it got turned on to a local station, but oh, I've got my get it back on the. No, I don't want it on court cam. Anyway,
Have you all done a FOIA request for everything that the Booneville PD has related to the case? That's one thing I would recommend that you do. Get all the records, all the documentation, because if at some point you all choose to hire a private investigator, they're going to need that information.
yes. I'm just trying to get caught up here. I'm so behind. Miss Shawn says they got into the cloud using Anna's computer.
Yeah,
And
definitely be careful if you look to hire someone. If you do decide to hire a PI, reach out. I'll recommend one for you.
yep. We now know Arctic has the connections. Which I had my suspicions, but I didn't want to I was gonna ask you a couple of times, message you and say, do you have any, what do you do? But I didn't want to be nosy. But now we know. Miss Shawn said the police did look at her phone, said they didn't find anything. I pointed out that if it were me, I would have deleted anything incriminating. Yeah. See, I'm still. Oh, and I just a whole batch of comments just popped up again. She says they didn't do a forensic deep dive, just looking at it in person. Yeah, see, I think that's what I was talking about. You can delete stuff, but if they do the special deep dive, whatever they can do to go in, they can find stuff that has been deleted. Yeah, Shamrock said the internet is forever. Absolutely.
This is true. This is
Um,
true. Like I said, the social media accounts need to be subpoenaed and all that stuff. And again, you know, it does require probable cause.
and a
And I'm
search
sure
warrant.
if
Yeah.
you go into the Booneville, you don't have probable cause, even though, in my opinion, there's plenty there. And
Yeah.
if I was on the force, I'd have no problem going to a DA and saying, "Look, we have a woman that failed a that didn't even bother to take a lie detector test. She has not been out there hanging flyers. She really, she got into an argument with her husband before he goes missing. We also have people who, we know that the vehicle was tampered with. We've got people finding nipples and pieces of flesh. Um, we probably need a warrant to search the wife's devices and her social media accounts. And I'm pretty sure that a DA worth any salt would sign off on that.
Exactly. I said I've seen cases with little to no evidence go to trial. At least have probable cause to get warrants and bring people in. And oh my goodness. So Miss Shawn said the last phone location was only about 5 miles from where the car was. And Miss Shawn lives in Texas. Well, hello, neighbor. Good to have you as a neighbor. So it was only 5 miles from where And then the only other thing they found right was the insurance card, the wipes, and the change that was about 100 feet from the car. Yes, Ms. Tabitha says we need to demand a call to action. Yeah, like I said, maybe if My Little Baby channel and Arctic's awesome channel, maybe more creators with channels bigger than mine and connections like Arctic has can get the ball rolling. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, and I do have to give credit where it's due, as much as it pains me. They did at least bring the dogs out. That's more than what they did in Timmy's case. So,
That is true. That is true. Because in Timmy's case, I mean, not to get off subject, but just for a minute, even in Timmy's case, I'd always thought, even if they thought he had just, because I said, oh, he just went out, basically ran out into the woods and laid down and passed away. Well, wouldn't you still bring cadaver dogs out to find it, to,
if they
anyway,
had brought the cadaver dogs out, they would have found him within, he wouldn't have been laying there for all that time. But
exactly.
they didn't do anything in that case. I mean,
No.
it didn't even get a blurb on the damn, Madison County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. It took creators putting pressure on them in order for them to do anything. And even with the pressure, rather than take that case seriously, they started bad mouthing the creators and shit that were covering the case. And
Yep.
they were deleting comments off of their Facebook page, which is illegal, I might add, for a law enforcement agency to fucking do.
Yeah. Yeah, Lisa Joe says that lady has a nipple in her freezer. Watch. I know. I'm telling you that foul odor. Probably. I'm not even going to go there. Yeah, I could, in my opinion, very possible that something could have been in there, and that's where the foul odor was coming from, or it was somewhere in that vicinity. Ms. Sean said, I know BPD works on Jamie's case, but there's a lot they should have done but didn't. The chief has a huge binder, probably mostly stuff that she has sent. Once again, just like God, we keep saying this case reminds me, Jamie's case reminds me so much of Timmy's case. Miss Barbara had to do all the, legwork and getting the information just for Timmy's case, just like Miss Sean has been doing for Jamie. It's,
And that's what's truly sad about all of it is these families should not have to be the investigator in these cases. They should be able to rely on law enforcement. That's what our tax dollars are going for. But unfortunately, what we see time after time is the second that drugs are mentioned or the second that they've got a history with the law or anything like that. Even these teenagers, every teenager over the age of 10, it seems like law enforcement has a little rubber stamp and they automatically stamp that person as a runaway and they don't
mhm.
take the cases seriously.
I know that's another thing that drives me batty, especially when you have when the teen or whoever child doesn't have a history of running away. The family says it's totally out of character. They would never be gone this long. They always let us know where they're at, etc., etc. I just, I just don't know. I just don't know what to think sometimes anymore. Sorry, just still trying to get caught up. Okay, Miss Sean says after the first newscast that you aired, the first part of the clip, the chief got bombarded with emails and calls because said there wasn't a foul play involved. Yeah, that's what I was wondering when I watched that. Is like, and this was even because this was after I'd read through all that information you sent me. I mean, how could they immediately say, "Oh, there's no foul play involved" when you hadn't even investigated anything yet? It's just unreal.
No, I
Thank
mean,
you. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dandy made a good point. The size of the nipple would have provided a gender, and they could have gotten DNA for testing. All they would have had to do was compare the DNA from that nipple to Sean's DNA, and it would have been able to tell them, hey, this is a sibling. It's
Yep.
more than likely Jamie. So,
Yep. Thank you. Miss Tabitha said, this case reminds me of Shannon Lee Collins' case. That is another case that both me and Arctic and others have covered extensively. Yes, Shannon's case that's another one.
that's another one where you cannot ever convince me that the wife and kids were not involved in that shit.
The wife, the kids, the church,
Yep.
for hiding the money or not questioning when the wife brought how many ever thousands of dollars it was. Oh, hey, can you, keep this in safe hiding for me? Oh, that's another case that gets my blood pressure up. Oh, goodness.
Lisa
Sean,
Joe, don't worry. I get accused of being a cop hater all the time, and I'm not. I have all the respect in the world for the good cops out there, like Mr. Steve, that do their jobs and actually
yep,
care. But the problem is we've got maybe 10 good ones out there for every 100 that are rotten apples to the core.
absolutely. See, I'm the same way. I'm not a cop hater. I just just do your job. Do your job. You know. Yep, Michonne says they do have Jamie's DNA on file. Yep, absolutely. Shamrock says my heart goes out to you, Sean. Yes, yes, absolutely. All right, I think I finally got caught up in comments. Oh, yes, everybody keep praying. Absolutely. All right, I think that is all I had. So if anybody else has any questions, comments, Arctic, you got anything else? I know you could.
I think I'm going to remain silent until I do my live stream, and I'm sure that I'll probably go pretty ballistic there too.
Hey, I want to be there. I want to be there. So I'm
Oh,
inviting
definitely.
myself.
You're invited, and if any other creators within our circle would like to join, you're more than welcome.
Dandy says, has a person that found the flesh been identified? Sorry, for, Miss Sean actually, because I think it was Anna that had this same information, and she wouldn't name the lady, but Miss Sean, being the excellent detective she is, found out who the lady was, and Miss Sean did talk to her, if I remember correctly. And Miss Sean says some of these people are from the Jamie's missing group, but I think I'm laying a lot more on the line than I usually do. Hey, we got your back. We got your back. Yes, can someone please, Arctic could drop his link. Absolutely. Arctic, they want your link. So if oh, never mind, Dandy's got it. Dandy is on it. Yes, Miss Shawn says, I've spoken directly with that person. She messaged Anna first because she knew her. Anna wouldn't share who it was, but I found out and did talk to her. She was not elderly, like Anna said. Surprise, surprise. We just can't trust anything that Anna says. Yes, thank you,
Wow.
Dandy. There is Arctic's link.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you, Dandy. I was going to grab it, and you were faster than I am, so.
I tell you, Dandy's fast. She's all you and her are fast on the gun getting these links in. Thank you
See,
so much.
when I'm in StreamYard, it's harder for me to switch over and grab the links. So.
See, that's why I can't do. I mean, I could, but you know how it goes with my dumpster fires. If I tried to go over and switch over to YouTube and grab links, and I would send us into outer space or something. Thank you, Shamrock says, thank you for a great stream with great people. Absolutely. You people are great. You are great. Everybody who is here, everybody who is watching replay. Absolutely. Yes, we absolutely. We
Sean,
absolutely have you.
Do you have my email, Sean? Once you email me, I will email you my personal number. Do not hesitate to use it. And if anything comes to mind, anything at all, just let me know. If there's anything, even if you just need some support, don't hesitate to reach out.
Absolutely. Like I said, Arctic is a rock star. He is the real deal. He is legit. And now we know he has some connections and some. I just lost the word I was trying to look for. Anyway, imagine that.
It's a secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. How much you gonna pay me? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, guys. All right, Arctic, if that's all you got, I think that's all I have. Thank you so much for joining me up here, buddy. It's always a pleasure. You know I love you.
No problem. Thanks for having me up.
Absolutely, anytime. You know you're welcome here anytime. So you have a good night. Sorry. Oh, I'm just I'm trying to multitask. It's not working. Yes, thank you, Dandy. Please like, share, subscribe. Share is the most important thing you can do to get this information out to as many people as possible. Michonne says she definitely wants to look into a billboard. Absolutely. I'm sure Arctic can give you information about that.
Yeah, well, I gave her information on Lamar Media Group. They'll donate one sometimes. If they happen to not be able to, let me know. I'll see what we can do. I may be able to fund a billboard in Booneville, out of my own
Excellent.
pocket. So,
Excellent. You are an angel. You're an angel. Thank you, Miss Paula. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Dandy. Thank you to everybody with wrenches, all the mods who come in on such short notice. I always forget to thank you guys. Thank you so much. All right, I think that is it. So, everybody, once again, pray for Florida. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody here, the community. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. Vid. $1.99 super sticker or super chat, 4 treats for Biscuit, who's been a good boy tonight. Yes, Biscuit, I had to lock little Biscuit out, but I don't think he feels good. I think we're going to have to stuff some medicine down him. But guess what is coming? Let me find it. Thank you so much, Vid. For anybody new here, that is my moo cow. Mr. Steve has his blue light. So anybody who donates or, was members, whatever, gets a moo cow as a thank you. So thank you so much, Vid. Lisa Joe asked Arctic if he was listening to the scanner. Don't know what's going on. So,
you probably hear my mom's TV. She's old and she has to have it turned up to 90.
Well, I'm old and I have to have mine turned up to 92. I have it on mute right now since we're doing this, but thank you so much, Vid. That is so sweet of you. Thank you. All right, guys, we are going to get out of here for the night. Thank you so much once again to Miss Shawn for trusting me to do this, for giving me all this excellent information that she sent me. We will keep Jamie's name out there and do everything we can to get some justice, get some closure. Arctic's on the case now, so watch out. It's going to get good. Thank you for all the locals that were here. We appreciate you being here. Everybody from the Facebook group. Thank everybody for being here. Everybody who's watching replay. So I'm going to get out of here. I should have been multitasking. And let's see so we'll probably have a next live stream Monday, because I won't be able to do it this weekend. So we'll have our Missing Person Monday live again Monday, but I'll have some videos and stuff to upload for the week, for this weekend and for the week. And I should have another members video uploaded probably Sunday for the members. An Arkansas case, kind of close to where I live. So you members will get to see that, what I have to say about that. But anyway, I'm going to quit babbling now. Thank you, everybody. And I will see y'all Monday.
Bye.